And welcome now on our set by the man who was coaching the darlings of this tournament, the Farleigh Dickinson University men's basketball team. The smallest team by height in the tournament takes down the tallest team in the tournament in Purdue, only the second time that a 16 seed had upset a 1 seed. And their former head coach, now Tobin Anderson, joins us because now he's the new head coach at Iona, taking over for Rick Pitino. No big deal. Tobin, thank you so much for stopping by. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
And congratulations. Now, we were just chit-chatting, and you said one of the text messages amidst the, I'm sure, hundreds and hundreds that you've gotten since this tournament started was from who?
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in my hotel room on Saturday night. We beat Purdue, and I'm just sitting there, watching a little bit of film, kind of hanging out, watching some news stuff, and all of a sudden it's a text from an unknown number. It was from BB. He said BB class of '75, Bill Belichick. I'm like, oh, that's a big one right there. So I was excited to get that one.
No Lin-Manuel Miranda also from Wesleyan.
I'm disappointed.
One of your former stuff.
Nothing from him at all. So I mean, I'm not sure he's watching the basketball at all, but yeah, I was a little disappointed on that.
Just a little thing about Wesleyan athletics. My uncle went there, and he weighed 250 pounds, and he signed up, and he got a letter from the football coach saying, hey, do you want to join the team, even though he never played an ounce of football. So was your alma mater Wesleyan a sports juggernaut exactly?
At that time, no. But they were they were good in baseball and other sports, but they've gotten a lot better since then. They've actually been a pretty good football power, pretty good basketball power now. So it's gotten better. I mean, that's a great league, the NESCAC. People who know Division III basketball know it's a really good league.
Tobin Anderson is our guest, is a former coach of FDU, Farleigh Dickinson, took down Purdue and just became the talk of the tournament. Describe what that was like to live.
Yeah, just unbelievable. When that buzzer went off, 'cause, like we were talking about belief and having a chance to win, but like deep down, you're like, all right, at some point, Purdue's just going to put us away. And I remember, Sean Moore hit the three at the top of the key about a minute to go. And that was the first time all night I thought there's a chance. 'Cause I kept thinking, all right, they're going to make it their run. We've played well. We've done a good job. We've represented ourselves really well. He made that shot the minute to go, and I'm like, I might have swore a little bit. I'm like, we might win this game, and we actually finished it off great and played well. So it was just an unreal experience for us to do that. We played like, most games like that, like you shoot like incredible from the three, or you shoot incredible from the. We just played like we didn't shoot an unbelievable amount. We didn't go above our heads. We just played great defense and played really well. And I thought more impressive was a game we played against Florida Atlantic the next game where we had a chance to beat them as well. And they were more like us style wise, and we played well that. So we had a great tournament. We won two games, beat Purdue, and had a chance to beat FAU, who we find out is a pretty damn good team. So
yeah.
it was a good run for us, and something we'll remember for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, when you're coming to the final minutes of that game against Purdue, do you let history sort of seep into your mindset at all? And how did the players avoid not letting the moment get too big?
Yeah, I think that first 4 game helped us because we're coming from FDU where most crowds are. We don't draw great. We draw at the most 1,000 people for our home. So there's no environment like that. So the first 4 game in front of 12,000 people, and we played great. It was on national TV. That helped us for the Purdue game because we kind of been there before. Now, different animal, number 1 seed. But the great thing about the tournament, when you're an underdog, and that whole arena will change. The fans all change to root for the underdog, and the whole place is going FDU. That helps you, right?
Yeah.
That helps. Almost felt like a home game in Columbus for our guys. So it was actually a really good thing to experience. Besides the actual game, just the whole place going crazy. I've heard stories about other arenas where the game was on the big screen. They had actually stopped the game or kept the game. Kept the game on there going. The fans were booing. The fans were chanting FDU. So just an unreal experience for all of us.
Tobin Anderson is our guest here on Radio Row. I mean, you know this because you're in the coaching profession. There are talented coaches who will go their entire career, who will never have a moment like what you and your team experienced in this tournament. Does the weight of that come down on you at this point where you're like, wow, I've achieved, and you still have more to achieve, but I've done something that so many coaches will never get that shine?
That's a great point, and I think it sets in for a little bit. Then you're like, well, I have to get back to work here. I can't sit around. You can't feel good about what you're doing. But yes, I mean we know what we did was a special thing and a special journey, and to do what we did was may not be done again. 116 upset, especially how we did it. So it's been hard to enjoy because for me personally, and hopefully our players at FDU have enjoyed it. But I get home from the tournament, I'm right back into get a new job at Iona. I'm right back to work now. So it's been hard. But at some point we'll sit down and say that was just something really special. So hopefully.
So you get to Iona. You look at this Final Four with teams like Florida Atlantic, San Diego State. What's a realistic goal now in college basketball for a program like Iona?
I think that's the goal, is a Sweet 16. I think that the idea of getting to the tournament and winning a game and then winning 2 games is something that every good mid-major can actually do now. I think when you see teams like Florida Atlantic and there's been a lot this tournament who have played well. Furman got a big win to start the whole thing off. Actually, watching Furman win, we were in the arena. Watching them come back and win that game probably helped us a little bit. Just seeing another mid-major team, they're better than us. They had a better year, but still very similar as far as like the mid-major stuff. To win that game helped our guys. This can be done at this level. So I think now for teams like us at Iona, hey, it's not out of the realm of possibility to make a run to the Sweet 16 or make a run to the Elite 8 and do that. So, things are changing a little bit. The people said the portal was going to hurt the mid-majors and the low Division ones. I'm not sure that's been the case, right? And the COVID's, there's a lot of things, but there's a lot of good players out there. My 3 leading scorers versus Purdue or Division D2 players last year. Those guys played great. So there's a lot of really good players out there, a lot of really good coaches out there. You got to play well at the right time, and we did that.
Yeah, where you were like over a year ago, right? D2, then you go to D1 in your first head coaching Division I job. You've been an assistant in D1 before, and then to beating Purdue to where you are now as the head coach of Iona. Unbelievable ride. But you said you're still in the exact same house.
Yeah, I haven't moved yet, so my wife and kids still like me, which is a good thing. So when I told my daughter I was getting a new job at FDU last year, she just broke down crying. She just went crazy, and I'm like, we're not moving. So we haven't had to move, which has been unbelievable. So there's a barbecue place close to our house, which I love. So I never want to leave that barbecue place. So hopefully we can stay at Iona for a long time and just keep going there. But it's
you realize to say that in Houston, Texas, people are not going to understand about a barbecue place in New York.
That's a very true story. I went to a place for lunch today was actually way better than the other places. Yeah, that's it. But we're not in Houston, Texas all the time. So, but yeah, it's a different level.
Yeah, so I went to Pinkerton's for lunch. I don't know if that's where you went.
We're lost making friends.
We went to a place called the Pit. It was really,
amazing.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
We were pulling out, and Dennis Rodman was pulling in. So it must be a good spot.
Okay.
That's
I thought Bill Belichick was going to be the biggest name you dropped today, but no. Let me pick that up, Dennis Rodman. Last one for you, Coach, and. We talk a lot about NIL and how it's changed things, but we talk about it a lot with some of the really big programs, right? Like Duke and North Carolina. What about NIL at FDU or Iona? How much does this play in?
Well, I think, for FDU now, we had nothing at all last year. But now you've won, and people see the success athletics can bring, especially this tournament, right? This tournament can bring so much notoriety to. I just saw the media hits and all the stuff on social media, what it's done for FDU's applications.
Billions of hits. Billions of social media hits.
So I think that's going to help, people who are boosters and people who are donors say, hey, how else can we help the program? Iona's been, one of the best programs in the East Coast for a long time. People want to see us win there. They want to see us go to the Sweet 16. They want to see us make a deep run. So there's a lot of support out there across the board. And, people want to be part of a winner. If you win, good things happen. So as long as you're having success and you're doing good things, people will jump on board. And so I've seen that in my first, how long have I been at Iona? I feel like I've been there for like
about 2 weeks.
about 7 days. But I've seen so many people want to jump on board, help us out. Let's be the next Florida Atlantic. So I think there's opportunities across the board there. And honestly, I think it's a good thing for the kids to get some stuff. It's tough sometimes being in college. When I was back at Wesleyan, if I had $20 in my wallet, I was pretty happy about that. But it's good for them. It's good for the whole thing. Obviously, there's got to be some restraints on it to a certain point. But I think it'll help a lot of places.
You have a legendary win. You even have a legendary speech to match the win. The more I see these guys, the more I think we can beat these guys. You've got the coaching, double-double.
Well, that was not maybe intended to be for the whole world right there. I learned a lot, too, from the tournament. Like, maybe I should not talk all the time when the cameras are. And once you start winning, they're around all the time. So I'm going to learn, if we hopefully get back there again here soon, to not maybe say as much. But the message was the message I wanted to deliver to the guys. Like, hey, we got to believe we can beat Purdue. I just didn't want Purdue to see it. I was in fear of, like, they're going to just drill us now because they're upset about what happened. But I think our guys took it as a chip on their shoulder. Like, let's go back up, coach. Thank God they like me. They could have hung me out to dry. So at least they like me and they stood up for me and had my back. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and now you said you only chose Iona so you could be near your barbecue place. So it's like,
Yeah, no, there's more things. But I do like my barber's down the road too, so that's a good thing. When you don't move, there's a lot of things that just fall into place. Restaurants, dry cleaners right there, my barber's right there. So there's a lot of
the important things in life. Glad to see the quality of life is so high. Tobin Anderson, congratulations again, and best of luck at Iona.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate that so much. That's funny.